On November 24, 2024, Bishop T.D. Jakes' sermon took a terrifying turn. Mid-sentence, his voice cut off, his eyes rolled back, and his skin turned gray. Before 2.3 million horrified viewers, he collapsed. But the real shock came later, when doctors revealed the cause. Now, with a $100 million lawsuit threatening his empire and dark rumors spreading online, the untold story of his battle for survival and reputation is finally emerging. Born on June 9, 1957, in South Charleston, West Virginia, T.D. Jakes grew up in a close-knit family. His father, Ernest, ran a successful cleaning business, while his mother, Odith, taught home economics. Though raised in a segregated community during the 1960s, his home was filled with love and learning. At just 10 years old, T.D.'s life changed forever when his father was diagnosed with kidney disease. For 6 years, he helped care for him, witnessing his slow decline. This hardship shaped his compassion and resilience. During this time, he earned the nickname Bible Boy, for always carrying a Bible and preaching to his stuffed animals. As a teen, he briefly drifted from his faith. But one night at a party, something stirred in him. He started singing gospel songs and felt the Holy Spirit so strongly that he ran out of the house. That moment pulled him back to God. At 16, his father passed away. The grief was overwhelming, and when his mother fell ill, he dropped out of high school just 2 months before graduation to care for her. Though life was difficult, it strengthened his understanding of suffering and ultimately led him to his calling as a preacher. At 23, he founded his first church, the Greater Emmanuel Temple of Faith, in a small storefront in Montgomery, West Virginia. With only 10 members, he worked at a chemical plant to support his family and ministry, while his wife, Sarita, helped as a Christian radio DJ. Their church was modest. T.D. even played piano for the choir. But his sermons resonated. By 1983, his first conference drew 80 attendees, the beginning of something much greater. In 1996, Jakes took a leap of faith, moving to Dallas, Texas, with just 50 families from his congregation. On July 28th, he held the first service of the Potter's House in a rented building. Only 300 people attended, but within 6 months, that number had grown to 5,000. In December 1996, T.D. Jakes purchased a 28-acre property for $3.2 million, transforming it into the home of the Potter's House. The first service was unforgettable. Over 8,000 people filled every seat and overflow area, drawn by Jakes' powerful message of hope. By 1999, the church's rapid growth led to the construction of a massive 191,000-square-foot sanctuary costing $45 million. It opened in July 2000 with 8,000 seats, and incredibly, the debt was paid off in just 4 years. The Potter's House became more than a church. It was a movement. By the end of 1997, membership had reached 10,000. 2 years later, it doubled to 20,000, and by 2000, over 23,000 people attended 3 Sunday services weekly. The church's diversity reflected Dallas itself. By 2005, membership exceeded 30,000, making it one of the largest churches in America. Expansion continued with campuses in Fort Worth and Denver. On New Year's Eve, 2010, a live broadcast reached over 40,000 people in one night. By 2020, the Potter's House had campuses nationwide and an average weekly attendance of 32,000. Beyond the pulpit, Jakes became a best-selling author. His breakout book, Woman, Thou Art Loosed, 1993, sold over 3 million copies and stayed on bestseller lists for 75 weeks. He went on to publish over 40 books, selling more than 20 million copies, with several hitting #1. In 2004, Woman, Thou Art Loosed became a film, earning $6.8 million at the box office. His production company, TDJ Enterprises, later produced Jumping the Broom and Heaven is for Real, which grossed over $100 million worldwide. His television program, The Potter's Touch, reached millions, and he even launched a talk show in 2016. Jakes built powerful organizations. His Woman, Thou Art Loosed conference drew over 52,000 attendees in 2004, while MegaFest attracted 100,000, boosting local economies. TDJ Enterprises expanded into film, music, books, and real estate, announcing a $150 million Atlanta project in 2022. By 2023, the company earned over $500 million annually. In 2001, Time magazine named him America's Best Preacher, a pivotal moment as the nation sought hope after 9/11. His influence grew, and he became a spiritual advisor to Presidents George W. Bush, Barack Obama, and Donald Trump. In 2009, he led the morning prayer at Obama's historic inauguration. He also worked with world leaders like Ghana's President Rawlings and Nigeria's President Obasanjo. In 2014, he attended a White House dinner for African leaders, and in 2015, he was present when Pope Francis visited the U.S. Jakes also tackled social issues. In 2015, he launched Conversations with America, addressing racial inequality and criminal justice reform. His 2016 live forum with MSNBC's Chris Matthews, attended by Congress members and journalists, streamed to over 1 million viewers. In Hollywood, Jakes' production company has generated over $500 million. Films like Jumping the Broom, 2011, and Miracles from Heaven, 2016, proved faith-based stories could succeed in mainstream entertainment. His short-lived 2016 talk show showcased his ambition to reach even more people. Jakes' commitment to service is just as strong. In 2020, he launched the T.D. Jakes Foundation to raise $100 million for underserved communities. By early 2024, $9 million had been distributed to 16 organizations. A $1 billion partnership with Wells Fargo is set to provide housing, financial education, and job training. His Texas Offenders Reentry Initiative, HORI, has helped over 42,000 former inmates rebuild their lives. The Potter's House remains deeply involved in disaster relief. After Hurricane Katrina in 2005, Jakes toured the devastation with President Bush. His church's MegaCare program aided victims of the Haiti earthquake 2010 and the COVID-19 pandemic, providing thousands of meals to families in need. A sharp businessman, Jakes' real estate company develops affordable housing and revitalizes communities, proving his impact extends far beyond the church walls. In 2023, T.D. Jakes partnered with a Miami developer to create housing for families. He continues to write best-selling books like Crushing and runs leadership programs, including the International Leadership Summit. Jakes has long faced debates over his beliefs about the Trinity. In the late 1990s, he used the term manifestations instead of persons when describing God, sparking accusations of modalism. The controversy peaked in 2012 at the Elephant Room Conference, where Jakes affirmed one God, three persons, but still preferred manifestations. His unclear stance left many conservative Christians skeptical. Jakes has also been criticized for his ties to the Word of Faith movement and prosperity gospel. In 2001, he suggested on TV that giving money leads to blessings. In 2015, he claimed, "If you obey God, you will never be broke another day in your life," drawing backlash for linking faith to financial success. His luxurious lifestyle, mansions, designer suits, and luxury cars fueled criticism. Stories surfaced of church members giving their savings and struggling financially, though Jakes denies being a prosperity preacher. His views on LGBTQ+ issues have also evolved. In the early 2000s, he called homosexuality brokenness. By 2015, he said the Black church and LGBTQ+ community could coexist, sparking backlash. In 2021, he criticized white evangelicals for focusing too much on same-sex marriage while ignoring social justice. In 2022, he challenged traditional gender roles, further distancing himself from conservatives while earning praise from progressives. In March 2024, T.D. Jakes was unexpectedly linked to a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. Producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones claimed Combs sought Jakes' help to fix his image after abuse allegations, though Jakes' sermons aired on Combs' Revolt TV in 2021, and he attended Combs' 2022 birthday party. No evidence tied him to wrongdoing. As rumors spread about Jakes At Combs's private parties, he stayed silent until April 15, 2024, when he denied any involvement, calling the claims false and an attack on his ministry. In April 2024, T.D. Jakes faced serious allegations, calling them an attack on his ministry. On April 18th, he filed a $100 million defamation lawsuit against Rodney Lil Rod Jones and later sued multiple YouTube channels for $50 million each, accusing them of using AI to spread false rumors. To prove his integrity, Jakes set up an independent board, opened church financial records, and even took a public lie detector test. T.D. Jakes grew the Potter's House from a small church in 1996 to a megachurch. At his peak, he preached 4 weekend services, wrote over 40 books, produced nearly 20 albums, and created films. In 2018, he traveled to 16 countries and delivered 100-plus sermons, often missing family moments like his son's graduation. Still, he involved his family. His wife, Sarita, led women's ministries, and their daughter, Sarah, became a pastor. In 2012, Sarita's surgery reminded him of family's importance, forcing him to balance work and caregiving.